Hello, who are you?
My name is Jan Verhasselt. I'm the managing director of artificial intelligence company called Yazzoom. And I'm here at the Expo in Amsterdam to demonstrate our product called Yanomali that you see behind me, and is used to monitor continuously all kinds of machines and production lines and detect if something is going wrong in that machine and flag it and alert the users that they should go and inspect a certain sensor or a certain part of the machine. And this purely automatically based on artificial intelligence.
What are your company exactly doing? What are your company up to?
Yeah, so we are helping our customers, which are mostly in industry. This can be process industry, like in Finland, very popular pulp and paper industry, but can be also discrete manufacturing, like making components for cars, or can be batch chemical processes, or can be also machine builders, so like companies building weaving machines and selling them around the world. All these are customers of ours that, and we help them with artificial intelligence to either make their production better or to create new innovative concepts into their products and create maybe new business opportunities by making innovations inside their products.
And what is happening here?
What we are seeing here is a small factory. It is driven by this steam engine over here, and that generates this motion inside the factory. We see a small stamping machine over there, we see a sledgehammer over here, and we have equipped this small factory with a number of sensors, which you see behind me on the screen. So for example, here on top of the steam boiler is a temperature sensor, and you see the temperature measurement over here. And our technology, using unsupervised machine learning, which is a sub-area of artificial intelligence, automatically learns for each of the signals normal patterns, normal values, and normal statistical distributions. And if now something happens which is out of the ordinary, it will raise here a high anomaly score and also inform the user why it has a high anomaly score, so that they can go and inspect either that sensor or the equipment behind the sensor to check whether something is going wrong. And I can illustrate this if you want.
Well, why not?
So here, under this wheel is a magnetic flux meter, and there is a small magnet attached to the wheel. So each time the wheel turns, you will see a peak in this magnetic flux meter because the magnet is getting close to the sensor. Now, I have here a small additional magnet, and if I bring that in the neighborhood of the sensor, it will create another magnetic field, and the sensor will pick that up, and hopefully the anomaly will also show an anomaly score because something is disturbing the magnetic sensor. So let me illustrate that now. You saw me bring the magnet close to and here you see how the magnetic field was influenced, and there you see a peak in the anomaly score, which is also shown here in the red warning with an anomaly score of 1. So this is an example of what is called univariate anomaly detection, meaning you detect an anomaly on one single sensor at a time. Another cool thing I can demonstrate is multivariate anomaly detection. This means that the artificial intelligence will learn the normal relationships between the different sensors, and if something changes in that relationship, it will raise an alarm. Right? So, and I can illustrate that.
Please be my guest.
Here, what you see here is a steam valve in between the steam boiler and the pistons that generate the motion. So, and our artificial intelligence has been trained in normal operation. In normal operation, this steam valve is always open. Now, if I close it, as you will see, I will slow down the turning. I don't want to let it stop, so let me carefully monitor that it doesn't stop completely. So you see the voltage generated by that power generator over there drop, whereas the temperature is still pretty high, and it says there's something wrong. It's not normal that the temperature is 107.5 degrees and that there is only that little power which is being generated by that dynamo, which is proportional to the speed of the rotation. Also, the spacing between these peaks is now wider than it was before, and the algorithm learns that there is something wrong, because normally if the temperature is this high, it has learned the relationship between temperature and the spacing in between the individual peaks, which are indicative of the turning speed of the wheel. And now it will little by little get back to normal because I have closed the valve, temperature is rising further, pressure is building up, and it needs to release the steam anyway. So it will just use higher pressure to force the steam through the small opening, and it will again accelerate. And that's the reason why you see the anomaly score dropping again. Now, if I open it and put it again in the completely normal position, here, you will see that very quickly the anomaly score will drop to a very low value, meaning everything is back to normal, so problem is solved.
Problem is solved, a happy ending.
That's a happy ending, indeed. Yeah, artificial intelligence in general is computer algorithms that exhibit some behavior which we would call intelligent behavior, right? Which is a quite broad term. And one subdomain within artificial intelligence is machine learning, which is the ability for a computer to learn from examples, right? As we learn when we are small kids, we learn from hearing people talk, and this is how we acquire language. So that's learning from examples. Now the science of figuring out algorithms that can let computers learn from examples is called machine learning. Now machine learning is only one subdomain of artificial intelligence. There is another subdomain that we also use within our company, which is optimization. So optimization means if you have a certain quantity, like a euro amount of profit, for example, that you would like to maximize, and it is influenced by many different factors in a very complicated ways, and you want to find out what is the best way to make the biggest possible profit, and algorithms that find in this many different options the best choice, this is called optimization algorithms, which is also a field within artificial intelligence, because this kind of smart decision making is also something, when we see a human do it, that we would call, this is an intelligent person, he makes smart decisions. Right? So this is another example. And a third category is search algorithms, so algorithms to find useful information inside raw data. And the algorithms that everybody knows is Google, right? So this is also artificial intelligence, but yet another subdomain of artificial intelligence. I hope that clarified and gave an answer to your question.
It definitely does. Such an intelligent stuff. What do you think, what kind of professionals we must educate in the future? If we think about school educations, what kind of professionals the world will need tomorrow and in the future?
You mean in the field of artificial intelligence or in general?
In the field of artificial intelligence, let's put it that way.
Okay, so I think the ideal education for doing artificial intelligence is computer science as a basic education, and then specialize in the domain of artificial intelligence. That is ideal. But inside my company, I have also people educated in exact sciences that are different from computer science. Like myself, my first engineering study was automation, my second engineering study was physics, and only then in my PhD I did artificial intelligence. And I have several people that had done physics as a study, or had done electromechanics as a study, and then later throughout a PhD or through some post-master education, they acquired skills in programming, specifically in the subdomain of artificial intelligence. So I think it's important to be analytical, to love, let's say, exact sciences and dealing with numbers and working with computers and analyzing problems and being prepared to keep looking if it's not clear at first sight and not very obvious, but you need to have this kind of investigation spirit to find the truth in this massive amount of data and think about the best ways of assessing the performance of what you're doing, right? So that's the kind of skills you need. And I think there are several pre-studies which are useful, but the area of artificial intelligence in itself is worth of at least 1 year of dedicated study of the different algorithms and the different tools that exist in this field. And then afterwards, like in any other ICT, so information technology sector, it's evolving very quickly. So that means that you need to love, being up to date and retrain yourself continuously on what is changing in the world in this area. and have small additional studies and love this, right? I mean, it's not a burden. We love to be on top of what is going on in the world and be one of the people that or one of the companies that can really set the barriers of what is possible with artificial intelligence and use that to help the world get a little bit better, right?
Love is the key to everything.
Indeed, yes.
Summarize your message about artificial intelligence to the world. What do you want to say to the world about artificial intelligence?
I would say don't be afraid of artificial intelligence because some people think it will kill our jobs and it will whatever. I think like any other technology, it can be used in bad ways, but also in good ways. And I think artificial intelligence will really improve our lives a lot in the next 10 years to come. I think in 10 years from now, it will be hard to imagine that you and I are standing here and maybe we have some kind of a disease, but there is no continuous monitoring of our health. Maybe in 10 years we will look back and say how primitive was the world in 2018 because we were having these health risks and not being aware that we were slowly getting some disease, right? Whereas early warning systems like what we are showing here for industrial applications can also be applied, of course, to human health and animal health and so on. So this is one area where I think it will help humanity a lot. And so I would say if you love to be on working in a high-tech technology and having an impact on the future lives of our children, then doing the study in artificial intelligence is definitely a good one because it will enable you to do things which were not possible before. Okay.
Wise words. Thank you, Can.
Okay, you're welcome.